What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Track the Harmonic. I'm your host, Lord MC. I know this is a late video. Probably you guys won't be able to watch it until tomorrow. I know it's late for the people on the East Coast, but I just wanted to quickly share my thoughts on what we can expect moving on forward, especially after a very interesting week with the whole bank situation as well as CPI and PPI, which I know there was a confusion as to why maybe during mostly intraday we did come down here on the SPY. We went down as low as 383.71 before closing the day at 389.28. And I will give my thoughts and my opinion on how you should read, or how you could read PPI and CPI. But before I get into it, I want to preface by saying I'm not a financial advisor. None of the things I say in my videos is ever financial advice. So question everything, do your own research, and come out with your own conclusions. So I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm just going to keep it to a few blue chip stocks and obviously the indices. So before I get into that, I want to just give my thoughts on PPI. So PPI did come out bullish. But it reacted in a strange way in the morning. You had the initial push down here where the low was $383.71 before closing the day out strong at 389.28. So depending on who you ask, PPI is subjective, right? The data that came out was bullish. You know, you want inflation numbers to come down, but you also have to realize that when these numbers are low and people are not buying, that could also slow down economic growth, right? These producers not able to, make money. So that's the whole part. That could also be the reason why maybe the initial reaction of the market just started dumping early in the day, and then towards the end of the day, you picked it up. So I also wanted to give my thoughts on CPI, which a lot of people were bullish on, and some of the things I think retail or just people in general are getting confused on the CPI, especially the year over year, which did come down, which the year over year for month of February came down, right? So that is comparable to last year's year over year for 2022 for the month of February. So after the Fed has been doing all these changes to fight inflation, you would expect that to come down year over year, right? So a lot of people, I think, missed was the CPI month over month, which tracks on a monthly basis. So last month, 2 months ago, January, the data came in at 0.4, if I'm not mistaken. And the data we got that was released this month for the month of February came in at 0.5. So what does that mean? In my opinion, month to month, you want the inflation to come down. And in this case, you had the inflation go up, which is why we kind of came down here for the better part of, was it Tuesday? Didn't react so well in decision. So I do think that you also need to look at the month over month, and you want that to come down, because it's all good that the CPI year over year is coming down, and that's expected, especially with how the Fed has been reacting to fighting inflation, right? That is expected. What we don't want is on a month to month basis having CPI data increase. So you need two things. You need the year over year to come down and the month over month. So that's why the market was in kind of a standoff of where price should be at. But having said that, let's jump into the SPY here. So I'm gonna bring out my drawings. So what can you expect here off of this ABCD pattern, which is your three days here closed above green, right? So we are above XA here, target 2 at 387.71. So what can we expect here? After today's close at 389, the next level of resistance would be the target here at 390.19. If you can somehow get above this here, the next level of resistance would be 393.84 and then 396.13. So we will definitely have to keep an eye out on that. Tomorrow, there, I believe, is jobless claims. The HSI is signaling here within this harmonic pattern that it wants to come up, maybe test that midline of the HSI. And RSI looks like it's curling down. RSI looks like it's curling down. So still, in my opinion, today was a strong close. Definitely you want to close above 387 for more continuation. Maybe tomorrow, so that's 2 days, right, of close above target 2 here at 387. So if you have confirmation, maybe tomorrow above target 387.71, then you can continue possibly to target 1 back up to 400. And I just wanted to quickly bring over here, because I know the ABCD pattern is a little bit difficult to trade for some who are following harmonics. So we can bring over here the shark pattern. Let me just mute these over here. So the shark pattern, you have a lot of resistance. Is calling back the terminal here at 407 and then hop all the way to 430. So for the market to be going long, or for the market to push up to those levels, you definitely want to break up above some resistances here, and you got a bunch. So like I said, I'll bring up my drawings again. You have 389.19. You need to break that with volume. 390.19, 393.84, and 396.13. If you break 396.13 with volume, I do think we can test 400. My line in the sand for possibly switching the market back up to a bull trend would be breaking up above 404, specifically terminal at 407.68, where there is a gap. So we will see if that is to play out. Let me bring this back here, and I'm just going to jump over to the triple Qs. So the triple Qs here does have a bearish shark pattern where you closed above 293.26. Today you closed at 298.93. I do believe if you continue pushing, you have some volatility, you have some volume on this push up, HSI cross. So you could next target here harmonically is $313.68 where the terminal bar is. You got two close above my target here at 293.26. So if this continues to push, you did have a golden cross on the SMA. When you have this cross here, you were above all the price action here. So maybe you continue pushing. We will definitely have to see if this continues pushing. Still a very volatile day. We still have next week as well with FOMC. So maybe the market consolidates until then, but we will see. So level of resistance here, if you lose 293.26, you come down to target 1 at 283.97. And then I have here a previous harmonic level at 276.85 before doing a target 2 for a type 1 reaction at 261.03. So for resistance, 313 and then 318 for the most bullish case scenario. And then hop at 326. Jumping over to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones finished the day at 319.54, and generated a new harmonic pattern here, a bullish shark pattern, where it's kind of trying to decide whether it's going to do a type 1 reaction or a type 2, right? You'd close above terminal bar here at 318.43. So if this continues, the next target would be 320 and then 332 for a beautiful type 1 reaction should it just continue pushing on up. And in the most bullish case scenario, you got a type 1 reaction all the way to target 2 at 344.62, where I do have a harmonic level from a previous harmonic pattern at 345.35. For if you break that, you could jump up to 357. Can't get ahead of ourselves because we're not there yet, but if you lose terminal bar here at 318, you can possibly come down to 312 at hop here. So you are getting very dangerously close here on the top of the descending broadening wedge for the Dow Jones. So out of the three indices, this is for the longest time the Dow Jones kind of held strong, and it's pushing back down, but we will see. You have RSI is signaling here that it wants to come down. The HSI is signaling up, and MPRSI down. So like I said, these next couple of days is going to be very important. So flipping over to Apple, clear my drawings here. So Apple looks like it's creating potential possible double top here, or it's starting to create lower lows and lower highs. You did cross the HSI midline as well as the MPRSI and the RSI. So the next level of resistance here, if Apple harmonically crosses here, it would be 158.48. I obviously have levels here where a huge major of resistance is $153.10. Should you come across that with volume, Apple tends to go to 155 and then 156 fast, just like it did right here, right? You cross these levels here, it goes to 155 or 156 respectively. So if that's to happen again, you can see this go to 156 to find resistance here. If you lose 150, it's below 153.10 right now, but if you lose 153.10, you come down to 150 and 148. My opinion, that's where target 1 is too, around 148.05. You lose that, you can come dumping back down to 140. So again, like everything, you have good volume for the last couple days here. So we will see if there's more continuation. Microsoft here on the day finished 265.44. So this looks good for Microsoft. You have volume increasing here. It looks like the HSI and the RSI is strong to the upside. That maybe you come test back again here in the 270s. You're at 265, so 270s here and then target 2 at 278. So Microsoft looks good. Maybe this is also creating a potential harmonic bearish pattern here. If we draw these levels, let's see if we have anything here. Maybe not, but maybe you are creating a double bottom here where you have the neckline already breaking up over here. To see if you go to the 270 range, if you don't hold on to this level, the next level of support would be 257 and then 255 before coming back down to 248.70. If you lose 248.70, you go to 242.50. But we're a little bit far away from that, so Microsoft, in my opinion, does look strong. Jumping over to Amazon, you're going to be really fast here. So Amazon kind of holding up above here. It just did close the day above the 50 SMA here, so volume also stepping up here. If you clearly break here, you kind of close below hop here at 96.31, but if you can close above here, the next level would be 107.54, and then 121 and the 130. So we will see HSI and RSI look good for the continuation. So we will definitely keep an eye out on that. If you don't hold on to this level at 96, you can come back down to 94 before testing 88, filling the gap fill at 86, and then 81.30. 81.30 below that, there's capitulation again, starts with Amazon. Jumping over to Tesla. So Tesla here finished the day at 180.45. It did test my level here at 177.12. So it did bounce off of that again. And if it continues pushing here with volume, you could potentially see up to 223.79 and then 236 should Tesla continue. We go over to the 2-day here. You are below XA, so you definitely need to break above 188. I do have a target, I believe. If you can get Tesla above $200, $205, I think Tesla goes. But as of now, you definitely need to at least break 200, in my opinion, for more continuation. If you don't hold 177, you can come down to 167 and then 164. Losing 164 is bad business for Tesla. If you lose this level, you can come down, dumping to 145 to fill that gap, and then potentially even worse, come down to 113. So keep an eye out on Tesla. Next one I want to cover is Google, Google's been strong lately. Volume is increasing. You have the HSI, the AMP RSI, and the RSI coming back up here. Maybe you test 103.50. I wanted to bring over here a harmonic potential that it's could be forming here, which is this bearish bat pattern. So you got the 886, the 376, the 2528, and the 886 here, which would bring roughly to around where a target one is at 103. And obviously off of this bearish bat pattern, you would have hop somewhere. I think I made the Fibonacci retracement tool to extension tool to figure out what hop is. So that level would be around 111, 110, where coincidentally where target 2 is, before you can come down to do a type 1 reaction below target 1 and then target 2 respectively. So Google does looks good, continuation to the upside. So we will see if that is to continue. The next target would be harmonically 103.50. So jumping over to the last one I want to cover here is Meta. Meta is in a tricky situation. There was obviously some bullish news after but I think it had to do with the TikTok ban. So right now it's at 202, could close pre-market, after hours at 202.35. So it broke 200. So that's a new 52-week high. It's above BC here at 195.72. You haven't, the next target here that you've yet to do a type 1 reaction. I know this is past the 30 bars here, but is target 1 at 251.26. You had this potential looking what it looks like an inverse head and shoulders, and right here, and you broke out of this. So where can this go? Meta can just fly off here at this level here. You do have a gap between 289 and 248. So keep an eye out on Meta. You have the HSI dot triggered here. It's a little bit overextended on the RSI, but you just crossed the midline here of the HSI. I don't believe that there is a harmonic on the 2-day. Guess it's tracking the 1 day as well. Let me see the 3-day. Yeah, there's the 1 day, the 3-day, up to the 3 days, the crab. 1 week. Yep, they're all the 1 week. It looks good. Look how good this looks. Or more continuation here. So we'll see if this is to continue pushing on in to tomorrow and into next week. So keep an eye out on Meta. Meta could go insane up to target one at 251. So that's all I have for you guys. I will be streaming tomorrow, same time as always, 15 minutes before the bell. So if you want to catch me on that, please consider joining the Twitch stream. The description will be in the description box below. And if you like this type of content, please consider giving me a like, commenting on the video, and giving me a follow. So appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody, and peace.